My dear people of Southern Cameroons, brave warriors of our liberation movement, accept revolutionary greetings from me, John Ba Akuro, this day. Today is day number 15 of the month of April 2021. My dear people, I'm coming today for us to discuss some very important issues. Very important because in some quarters, some people appear to be relaxing. I'm drinking water. Some of them are drinking wine and already telling themselves that is over when it has not even started, when it is not over. Because it will never be over until we get independence, total independence, total freedom, total self-determination. That's what it's going to be. So this discussion today is going to center around one very important thing. That thing is the fact that we are on the right track. We are on the right trajectory. Some people erroneously look at the misunderstandings that we go through sometimes and say those misunderstandings presage the end of our movement. But trust me, we are a people whose fundamental belief in freedom of expression is untainted, unparalleled. We are a people whose fundamental belief in diversity of thought is unparalleled. But above all, we are a very nice set of people. Why? Because our ability to agree, even after we disagree, is also unparalleled. We have a few bad grains among us, that is undeniable. But overall, the trademark of the people of the Southern Cameroons is that one, we are a resilient set of people. Two, we are a peace-loving set of people. Three, we are people who know the meaning of reconciliation, the meaning of coming together when we need to come together, and the meaning of democracy, which is founded on the fundamental principles of freedom of expression and of opinion. That is why those who don't understand this sometimes come to that grave conclusion, a mistaken conclusion, that we are so divided so that if we become a country right now, we will be worse than Southern Sudan, which is their main reference. My people know we are on the right trajectory. We are this way because we are facing an enemy. We are facing an opponent who lives and thrives only on divide and rule, bribery and corruption. La République du Cameroon is singing on every rooftop that we are so divided, that we are so disorganized and everything, because they have struggled and struggled and struggled to bribe us, to look for some leaders who can give one word and every other person falls on the ground, to bribe off so that we should hate our own very aspirations, and it has not worked. They have tried everything, and because they don't understand why what they believe in so strongly, bribery and corruption, what they are so specialized in, and what they have used to maintain themselves in power in La République du Cameroon for almost 40 years is not working in Southern Cameroon. They can't understand why. And that's why the only interpretation they will give to it is that we are divided, we are failing, we will be a failed state in the making. That is the reason. But my people, we are doing great. We are doing so well. As we all prepare to observe the brief departure of Christian Cardinal Tumi, I have this message for some Southern Cameroonians who called me and chastised me after the program that I made to talk about the passing on to glory of the late Christian Cardinal Tumi. Some chastised me, some said he was a traitor, some said he had joined the oppressor against his people and everything and all whatnot. And why were you glorifying him? Why were you wanting to elevate him? And then I laughed. And I said, as humans, we fail to understand that the first thing about us, the first characteristic about man, is that we are frail. Is that we are prone to mistakes. Is that we are prone to sin. Is that there are things that we will do which will not match what people want us to do all the time. But at the same time, that we have those weaknesses, we also have our qualities. And I recall that all what we need to do is to seek the shining star, that golden bright star, the silver lining in every dark sky, or call it dark cloud, but I prefer to call it today dark sky because I want it to be broader. Look for the silver lining. And our father, Christian Cardinal Tumi, has a legacy he left for us. I'll take us back to it in the course of this discussion, which is not going to be long. You will listen, you will understand what Christian Cardinal Tumi left for us. No one could ever say it better than he did. No one could ever present it better than he did. No one could tell the world more than Christian Cardinal Tumi did how determined we are to attain our objective. But before I get there, I have this SOS. This is a very important SOS, my people. Very important SOS. Like I said earlier, one thing I know about us, the people of the Southern Cameroons, is that we are not only peace-loving, we are not only self-reliant, but we are also a people who live and thrive on solidarity. My people, we have demonstrated more than enough over the years, almost 60 years, that we've been in bondage under La République du Cameroon, that we are dependable, that we can depend on ourselves and not care about anything from anybody. Because that is how we've been able to build our towns and cities that La République du Cameroon is now racing today down to ashes. We build those things ourselves without assistance from anywhere. In total neglect, we did it because we believe in solidarity. We have always risen to the occasion anytime there is need to do so. My people, when I look here, there are over 20,000 people who are subscribed to this channel. You don't have to be a Southern Cameroonian. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be of the consortium where I belong. You don't have to be of any of the movements of the Southern Cameroons to be part of this call that I'm making today, this cry that I'm about to launch right now. My people, you are a friend of the people of Southern Cameroons, you are most welcome. But most importantly, you are a friend of humanity, this is the time for you to rise to the occasion. We have a situation right now. I was about to take my rest. I'm sure you'll be surprised why I'm coming out at this hour of the night. When I saw this picture circulating on social media, this young child, her name is Baby Joy Bokwa. Joy or Baby Joy is only 4 years old. 4 years old. Only 4 years old. But she has cardiac problems. Serious cardiac problems. Doctors from left and right have examined her and given up. Until specialists landed at the St. Francis Hospital in Bamenda, Small Mancon, in Tarsent, Small Mancon. And after thorough examination, he established that a surgical intervention is possible. And he said the chances are above 80% that she will make it if she's operated upon. Just take a look at this beautiful young girl, this beautiful baby. Who knows? This may be one of our ministers or even why not the first woman president of the Southern Cameroons that is in this situation right now. And posterity is asking us whether we will look at her wither away or we will rise to the occasion to provide the kind of assistance that is needed. This baby is from Bamising in Dop, just about 45 minutes drive from the city of Bamenda. The medical doctor, the specialist who examined her, established that baby Joy Bokwa, who is 4 years old, has 90 days to live from the day he examined her. She will have 90 days to live if there is no surgery conducted on her heart. And he established that this surgery, he will conduct it where there is a specialized and acceptable environment, and that will be in Chisong. The cost is 3.8 million in CFA. That's almost $8,000. So on February 26, 2021, he said she had 90 days. So this means that by the 26th of May, or by May 26, 2021, if nothing is done, this baby we are seeing here will become history. Baby Joy is calling and touching on the consciences of each and every one of us Southern Cameroonians. This is baby Joy, as you can see there, with her mother and sister. Look at the beautiful, happy little girl. The family with all joy, but they can't make it. I saw this circulating on social media, and I called the number, and I reached out to the family. I don't know them. They don't even know me. They don't know who I am. They don't even know where I am. And they told me all they have been able to raise this far, that is in their hands, is 150,000 CFA from 3.8 million. I know the people of the Southern Cameroons are brave people who will rise to the occasion to rescue a child like this one. My dear people, I am not urging anyone to come through me, no. You don't need to call Mba Akuro for whatsoever reason to assist this child. Just look below my screen. You will see a telephone number there. It's an MTN mobile money number, but that number also rings. You can call it and talk to Glory Mbangie, who is the aunt and who is following up to see how to bring this baby back to life. Make your contribution to her directly. Call her, talk to her, transfer your money to her. This request is for less than $8,000. I know there are some of us, even right here in the United States of America, who all alone can bankroll this money and bring this child back to life. There are some of us who can do that. But please, don't come through me. This is not the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia struggle issue. No, this is a philanthropic situation. And trust me, this is a test of that solidarity that we, the people of Southern Cameroons, the nice people of the Southern Cameroons, are made of. Let us rise to the occasion. Let us rise to the occasion for the sake of humanity and provide assistance to rescue this child. This is a brave young girl, a brave young baby. We don't know what she's going to become tomorrow. Take another look at her. This is baby Joy Bokwa. She needs your assistance. This is baby Joy again in family. As you can see her, she needs your assistance. And if you didn't get the number, there you go again. I'm going to leave it there for a while as I change the subject matter. My people of the Southern Cameroons, while we all mobilize to give the kind of assistance that only us, the people of the Southern Cameroons, know how to give for the rescue of baby Joy Bokwa, let us go into the crux of the matter. You know, I'll take off the contact and I'll bring it on again once in a while. I'd like us to take a look at this newspaper. This is a Horizon newspaper that goes to the stands this Thursday morning all over La République du Cameroon and in the southern Cameroons. Look at the caption. Worrying economic outlook. Cameroon stable but faces debt distress. What message does this give to any one of us? What message is this? The challenge that La République du Cameroon gave to itself to hold us hostage is becoming unbearable. That country today owes more than 10,000 billion CFA in internal debt. I mean, 10,000 billion. If I said it without projecting a paper published in La République du Cameroon, you will not understand me. I cut just this so you could zoom it a bit and you look at the date on it. This is the paper that goes out on April 15. April 15, 2021. Cameroon stable. They claim they are stable, but they face debt distress. This is because we have made the cost of occupation in the southern Cameroons really, really high. La République du Cameroon cannot cope anymore. Before long, they will not be able to pay salaries for their civil servants. Before long, the people of that country will begin screaming, they'll begin crying, and they'll begin asking themselves what their people are doing in the southern Cameroons. This is because of our resilience. This is because of our determination. This is because we have told ourselves we will not, with our eyes open, allow ourselves into slavery, an unacceptable practice in the third millennium. I've not been used to doing this, but I knew I was going to be thirsty because I'll be talking with a lot of joy, with a lot of verve, and with a lot of excitement. How La République du Cameroon is beginning to own up to the fact that all is not as rosy as they've been pretending to tell the world. My dear people, the cost of occupation is growing by the day. My dear brave members of the civil society in the southern Cameroons, by respecting these ghost towns only on Mondays on a permanent basis and other days that are called intermittently, you are succeeding in crippling the economy of La République du Cameroon, in making the cost of occupation unbearable, and in telling them that it shall never ever be business as usual again. When they come and stand, Urana Tanga Ponji, alias boys and girls, and say they want to declare victory, I laugh. Because all they want to do is try to point to the fact that, well, you can see schools have resumed in some places. As you can see, we're able to play football in Victoria with about 15, 20 people on the field of play. Yeah, but we're able to play. We're able to organize elections, which are people largely boycotted very clearly and continue to say it by the day that they voted for nobody and they have no representatives. My people, they still pretend that they can tell someone that they are winning. Overwhelmingly, my dear people of the southern Cameroons, we are on the right track. We are making it and making it big. Don't be discouraged. Let no one anywhere try to discourage you, because as a people, we are winning. As a people, we are heading towards victory. All we need to do is continue to call for synergy. All we need to do is continue to make sure we stop the negativism among us. All we need to do is continue to ignore those ones who call themselves among us leaders, but who have decided that they will not work with the people, they will work for themselves. Or they work only according to their own imaginations and thoughts. Ignore them. Continue directly to do what you are doing as an individual, as a group, as a family, to keep this movement alive. Because we are inching closer and closer to victory by the day. Listen, I will repeat again. Our father, Christian Cardinal Tumi, is gone. He will be interred on Tuesday, April 20 in Douala. The funeral program came out in French and in French only, and some people screamed, but why didn't they do a copy in English? And I was like, why are you bothering yourself? Christian Cardinal Tumi retired in Douala. And as it is a practice with the Roman Catholic Church, that is his home. That's where he's going to be interred. Christian Cardinal Tumi said Mass for much of his life in French because there were more souls to be won in that part of the world than he needed to be fighting to win in our own part of the country. So, no freaking, no bothering about all of that, but he left something for us. He didn't leave it in French. He left it in a language you and I would understand. He left a message the world must continue to listen. Look, you might have listened to it before, but let us listen to it again together. Now that Christian Cardinal Tumi is gone, take your time. Let's analyze what he says, word after word, sentence after sentence, and you will agree with me that no one could have said something so clear. No one could have left such a strong and clear message to the rest of the world, not only to us, the people of Southern Cameroons, to tell the world how determined we are to get to where we want to get to. Just listen.
There's a problem.
No, the form of the state.
The form of the state. You know, in our questionnaire to Anglophones, we try to influence the Anglophone opinion, but we did not succeed. Therefore, it shows how deep the problem is.
When you say you tried to influence,
we tried to influence.
How?
Good question. When we said, what form of government do you think can solve this problem? Federation, for example. Decentralization, as we are trying to live it now. I think just about 4 or 5 people reacted out of 1,000. 69% of Anglophones said absolute, the word they used, many used was absolute separation. That is to say, cessation. What? Who was taken aback?
Secession was not on the questionnaire. You had federalism and decentralization.
Yes.
And they ignored the two.
But then we said, have you any other proposition to make? We left it open. Have you other proposition? But many said in the questionnaire, acting on outside the questionnaire, said we should have proposed also a referendum. They said, no, a referendum is not a form of state, form of government.
And when you look at that reaction, what do you read within the lines? What would you conclude is the stand of?
We drew the conclusion. We drew the conclusion because we have a document now, the causes, the propositions of those who reacted to our questionnaire, about 1,000 people, and then our own, what we think. For those who reacted to our questionnaire, 69% are convinced that if we want to love each other, that is to say, if the Anglophones and Francophones want to live as brothers and sisters, absolute separation on the level of government. That is important.
And that is what sounds like a taboo.
Our position is that everything should be put on the table. There should be no taboo. That's our own position. But not that it is our own, not that we are saying that we should absolute separation, but we say whatever the opinion of some, let us listen to him. But
secession should be on the table of discussion,
yes,
in the national dialogue.
Let them try to convince us. If they convince us, we should take it. If it's convincing. That is why I think personally.
Are you saying that if the people who are standing for secession convincingly present their point of view, President Paul Biya should accept to separate Cameroon?
Of course.
Is it feasible?
It's possible, since it is human. It's not the law of God. We were not that. We were separate. Were we not? We were.
Do you think that separation is going to solve this problem? Personally, do you think that separation can solve this problem?
Of course, there's a problem.
No, the form of the state.
The form of...
Okay. This is interesting. So, if you have taken time and listened to this very clearly, taken time to analyze each word as it should be, your take-home message will be this. Christian Cardinal Tumi, his parting message is clear, that the will of the people of the southern Cameroons is that for the citizens of La République du Cameroon and those of the southern Cameroons to love each other and live in peace, we should go our separate ways. That is the message. And he says they try to trick, they played games, they never offer the option of self-determination, of outright and total independence. But our people, 69% of them, meaning out of 1,690, found a way to write somewhere that absolute, mark the word, absolute independence. So not any kind of independence that will require that we have some strings or some ropes or whatever of La République du Cameroon. Absolute independence. So Christian Cardinal Tumi wanted to tease the minds of our people, like it was the case in 1961, when they refused to give us the third option. He tried to do that, but this time our people said, even if the entire world would come together and try to coax something on us again, they will repeat and tell them that it is absolute independence. Listen, absolute means absolute. Are you therefore surprised that despite all the attempts by La République du Cameroon to bribe chiefs, to bribe funds, to bribe any kind of people, to bribe community leaders and all whatnot, it is in the spirit. It has remained in the spirit. We have remained strong and resilient. It is because the people know what they want. It is because the people are determined to go to where they must go to freedom, total freedom. Listen to what I say. Absolute independence. This is what we are looking for. This is a message. This is a legacy of Christian Cardinal Tumi to the people of the southern Cameroons. Would you really have wanted more? Show me among those so-called elites, those who call themselves your leaders or your whatsoever, that have stood up to do something not only scientific, but have the guts to sit on public television and say it the way it is. And he says, we were not together before. Isn't it true? We were never together before. So is there any reason, is there anything wrong with us going our separate ways? Because in the first place, we were not together. So if we don't want to be together again, is it a crime? My people, I bring this and I will continue coming here perhaps on a regular basis to remind us why we are in this movement. Because if you remember why you are in this movement, if you remind yourself about this every day, you will not let your loyalty to this movement, your commitment to this movement, your contributions to this movement be determined by the attitude of some of us who call ourselves leaders. You will not let your commitment to be dependent on our attitude, to be dependent on how we do things, the kind of things we say, how we act, and all of those things. No. You will let your commitment be determined by this belief, this clear belief that the only way we can live in peace with the citizens of La République du Cameroon, who are our neighbors, is to go our separate ways. I'd like to end this message here. But before I go, I want to remind you that this little young girl needs your assistance. And if you want to assist, this is the way to go. Don't lie on your laurels. While we continue to lose young people, even children, who in normal circumstances might not have found themselves in situations like this, but who represent the future of that southern Cameroons that we are fighting for. To God be all the glory. Until our next broadcast, have a wonderful moment.